Your Airbnb photos might be showing too much and selling too little. Here's why. Most Airbnb hosts think more photos mean more bookings, and honestly, it makes sense at first. You want to show the bedroom, the kitchen, the bathroom, the view, the hallway, the patio, the coffee station, the extra towels, the lamps, the other lamps, the same room from 6 different angles. So before you know it, your Airbnb listing has 60 photos. But here is the problem. More photos do not automatically create more trust. Sometimes more photos just create more work for the guest, because guests are not scrolling through your listing like they are touring a museum. They are scanning fast. They are trying to answer a few simple questions. Where do I sleep? Where do I relax? Does this place feel clean? Does this feel premium? Is this worth the price? And if your first 5 photos do not answer those questions quickly, the other 55 photos are not doing much for you. They're just sitting there, ignored, maybe even creating more confusion. And this matters because Airbnb itself says the first 5 photos are the most important because they are prominently displayed on your listing page. The first photo is also the large image guests see in search. So your first 5 photos are not just part of your gallery, they are your first sales pitch, they are your first impression, they are the moment a guest decides, do I want to keep looking at this property or should I move on to the next one? In this video, I'm going to show you why more photos do not always mean more bookings, what guests are actually looking for, and the exact first 5 photo formula I would use for an Airbnb and VRBO in 2026. Because the goal is not to show everything. The goal is to show the right things in the right order. Let's start with the mistake almost every host makes at some point. They treat the photo gallery like proof. They think, if I show enough photos, the guest will trust me more. And to be fair, there is a good intention behind that. You want to be transparent. You want guests to understand the space. You want fewer surprises. You want fewer questions before booking. You want fewer complaints after check-in. That part is smart. But here is where it goes wrong. A photo gallery should not feel like a camera roll. It should feel like a guided tour. Think about it like going to a restaurant. If the menu has 14 pages, at first it feels like variety. But after a few minutes, it starts to feel overwhelming. You are not more confident. You are more confused. That is what happens when a listing has too many random photos in the wrong order. The guest opens the listing and sees bedroom, kitchen, window, chair, bathroom, same bathroom, different angle, close-up of towels, wall art, exterior, hallway, another hallway, a random corner of the living room. And now the guest has to build the value in their own head. That is the problem. Your photos should not make the guest work. Your photos should guide the guest toward a decision. Because when someone is looking at a short-term rental, they're not just asking, is this pretty? They are asking, can I trust this place with my trip? That is a much bigger question. And the first 5 photos need to answer it fast. If those first 5 photos are weak, random, repetitive, dark, confusing, or boring, you are wasting the most valuable visual space on your listing. That is why the photo dump approach does not work. A photo dump says, here is everything. A smart photo sequence says, here is why this stay is right for you. Big difference. Now here is the part that changes everything. Guests do not browse, they filter. You look at your property emotionally. You remember choosing the couch. You remember buying the bedding. You remember staging the kitchen. You remember cleaning up the patio. You remember thinking, this angle really shows the room. But the guest does not have that emotional connection yet. They are not attached to the property. They are comparing. They are looking at your stay beside 10 other stays, and their brain is moving fast. Can my group fit here? Is the bed comfortable? Does it look clean? Does the living room feel relaxing? Is there enough space? nice? Does this feel better than the cheaper option? Would I feel good sending this to my spouse, my friends, or my family? That is what is happening in the guest's head. They're not carefully studying every image. They are filtering for confidence. So every early photo needs to behave like an answer, not decoration. This is where hosts get into trouble with detail shots. A close-up of a candle can be nice. A wine glass on the counter can be nice. A plant in the corner can be nice. A pillow shot can be nice. But those are supporting details. They should not appear before the guest understands the core value of the stay. Because the guest does not book because of the candle. They book because they can picture the trip. They can picture waking up there. They can picture sleeping comfortably. They can picture relaxing after a long day. They can picture having coffee on the deck. They can picture the family gathering in the living room. They can picture the stay being easy, clean, and worth it. So when you think about your first 5 photos, stop asking, what else can I show? Ask, what does the guest need to believe before they book? That question will change your entire gallery. Now let's talk about photo 1. Your first photo has one job: stop the scroll. That is it. Your first photo is not just your first photo. It is your thumbnail. It is your billboard. It is the image that has to earn the click before the guest knows anything else about your property. And a lot of hosts accidentally waste this photo. They use a dark exterior shot, or the front door, or a wide room photo that technically shows the space but does not make anyone feel anything, or a random angle because they think this shows the whole property. But the guest is not asking, does this show the whole property? They are asking, do I want to click this? That is different. Your first photo should show the strongest reason to care. If your strongest feature is the waterfront deck, show the deck. If your strongest feature is the hot tub in the trees, show the hot tub. If your strongest feature is a warm, beautiful living room, show that. If your strongest feature is a pool, show the pool. If your strongest feature is a cozy cabin interior, show the cozy interior. The best first photo is not always the most complete photo. It is the most compelling photo. Think of it like a movie poster. A movie poster does not show every scene. It gives you one strong reason to pay attention. That is what your cover photo needs to do. It should make someone pause and think, wait, this one looks good. Because if photo 1 does not win attention, the rest of the gallery never gets a chance. Now, once you earn the click, photo 2 has a different job. Photo 2 should answer, where do I sleep? This matters more than hosts realize, especially for family trips, group trips, couples trips, wedding weekends, and multi-night stays. People are not just booking a property, they are booking logistics. They need to know if the sleeping setup actually works. Is there a king bed? Are there enough bedrooms? Can 2 couples stay comfortably? Where do the kids sleep? Is that a real bed or a pull-out couch situation? Does the bedroom look clean, calm, and comfortable? If the sleeping setup is confusing, guests start to hesitate, and hesitation kills bookings. This is why I do not like burying bedrooms deep in the gallery. If your listing sleeps 6, 8, or 10 people, the guest should not have to play detective. You do not need to show every bedroom immediately, but one strong bedroom should appear early. If the primary bedroom has a king bed, show it. If the family bunk room is a key feature, show it. If the property is designed for couples, show the best bedroom in a way that feels relaxing and clean. And make it obvious. Not a weird tight corner shot, not a dark image, not a photo where the bed looks tiny. The guest should look at it and instantly understand, okay, I can sleep here, because sleep is one of the biggest trust points in a short-term rental. If guests are unsure about sleeping, they are unsure about the stay. And if they are unsure, they keep comparing. Photo 3 should answer a more emotional question. Where do I relax? Because guests do not book vacation rentals just to sleep. They book the moments around the sleep. The slow morning, the coffee on the deck, the movie night, the fire pit, the hot tub after hiking, the quiet couch after exploring, the kitchen island where everyone gathers before dinner. That is where the stay starts to feel like a trip. This is where a lot of galleries feel too cold. They show inventory, bedroom, bathroom, kitchen, laundry, door, hallway. But the guest is trying to picture the experience. So photo 3 should often show the place where the stay feels enjoyable. For some properties, that is the living room. For others, it is the deck, or the patio, or the hot tub, or the pool, or the dining area, or the fire pit, or the cozy reading corner. This photo sells the emotional side of the booking because the bedroom proves the stay works. But the relaxation photo makes the guest want it. And wanting it is what gets someone to save the listing, send it to their group chat, compare it seriously, and come back to it later. So do not just show the living room. Show why the living room matters. Do not just show the deck. Show the feeling of coffee outside in the morning. Do not just show the fire pit. Show the reason someone says, this would be perfect for our weekend. That does not mean fake staging. It means intentional storytelling, warm lighting, clean surfaces, natural angles, a space that looks like it is ready for the guest to step into it. That is what creates desire. Now, photo 4 should answer, why this one? Because by this point, the guest is comparing. They are not only looking at your property, they are looking at your property beside other properties. And one of those other listings might be cheaper. So if you want to protect your price, you need to make the value obvious. Photo 4 should show what feels premium. And premium does not always mean luxury. Premium means obvious value. A private hot tub feels premium. A water view feels premium. A beautiful kitchen feels premium. A fireplace feels premium. A walkable downtown location feels premium. A big dining table for the whole group feels premium. A fenced yard for pets feels premium. A game room feels premium. A bright workspace feels premium. A high-end bathroom feels premium. The point is not to show off. The point is to help the guest understand why your stay is worth choosing. Because if the value is not obvious, price becomes the main comparison. And when price becomes the main comparison, the cheaper listing starts looking better. That is dangerous. A strong premium photo says, this is why this stay costs what it costs. It helps the guest justify the decision. It gives them a reason to choose you beyond location and price. So, do not hide your strongest amenity at photo 24. Do not make the guest scroll through 12 average images before they see the thing that makes the property special. Bring the value forward. Make the best part easy to see, because guests will pay more when they clearly understand what they are getting, but they question the price when the value feels vague. Photo 5 should remove the biggest doubt. Every property has one. For a downtown rental, the doubt might be parking, so show the parking. For a family rental, the doubt might be space, so show the open layout. For a cabin, the doubt might be privacy, so show the outdoor setup. For a beach rental, the doubt might be how close it actually is to the beach, so show the view, the access, or the outdoor area that proves the location advantage. For a pet-friendly rental, the doubt might be the yard, so show the yard. For a remote stay, the doubt might be comfort, so show the cozy interior, workspace, or main living area. This fifth photo is not random. It is strategic. It should answer the question that could stop the booking before the guest even says it out loud. loud. Ask yourself, what do guests usually ask before booking? What do they worry about? What is unclear from the listing? What makes them hesitate? Then answer that with photo 5. Because if you can remove doubt early, the guest keeps moving. They keep looking. They keep trusting. And trust is what gives your listing a real chance. So the first 5 photos should work like this. Photo 1, here is why you should click. Photo 2, here is where you sleep. Photo 3, here is where you relax. Photo 4, here is why it feels worth it. Photo 5, here is the thing you were worried about. That is a booking story, not a camera roll, not a folder of random images, a story. And once those first 5 photos do their job, the rest of the gallery can support the decision. That is where you show the rest of the bedrooms, the bathrooms, the kitchen, the laundry, the extra amenities, the outdoor areas, the details, the angles that help set accurate expectations. The full gallery still matters, but the first 5 carry the most weight because they shape the first impression. They decide whether someone keeps going or leaves. So before you upload another 20 photos, do this instead. Open your listing. Look only at the first 5. Ask yourself, would a stranger understand why this property is worth booking? Would they know where they sleep? Would they know where they relax? Would they see what feels special? Would one major concern be answered? If the answer is no, you do not need more photos yet. You need a better photo path, because more photos do not mean more bookings. Better answers do, and that is the real lesson. Your Airbnb or direct booking gallery should not simply show the property. It should sell the decision. The guest should not have to work hard to understand the value. They should feel it quickly. They should see the stay clearly. They should know why it fits their trip. And they should trust that what they are booking is clean, comfortable, real, and worth the price. So here is your next step. Do not audit your whole listing today. Just audit your first 5 photos. Does photo 1 stop the scroll? Does photo 2 show where they sleep? Does photo 3 show where they relax? Does photo 4 show what feels premium? Does photo 5 remove the biggest doubt? If not, start there. Not with a discount. Not with another random amenity shot. Not with 15 more angles of the kitchen. Fix the decision path, because guests do not need to see everything at once. They need to understand the value fast. And when your photos answer the right questions in the right order, your listing does not just look better, it sells better. I'm Derek Gisriel, owner of LevelUp Stays. And if you want more of these short-term rental tips, go to my channel and watch my videos. Hit like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what other topics you want me to cover. I hoped you enjoyed the video and learned something from it. I'll see you in the next one.